This is a presentation on how to reduce your spotting, save your body, and help the kids actually learn a lot more. There are very few items that need to be spotted. If you do enough lead ups, they don't need a lot of spotting. On balance beam especially, you can do it on a line, low beam with mats built up, lower them slowly, and then go up to the high beam and put the mats all the way up and lower it again slowly. On other events like vault and floor, usually you just do good landing mats in the pit or soft landing where they can do it alone. You don't need to do a lot of spotting until that first really hard one. Of course, mental blocks on all of these don't apply because some kids need you to stand there or to be there for them. And bars and P-bars, that's where you really need the most spotting because P-bars, you have to spot the stomach and back so they don't buckle. And bars, there's that risk of falling, so you should always be there for bars. We want to really show our skills in being able to teach a child, not our skills in being able to spot them in things that they're not ready for. So be really careful that your teaching has to do with you helping the child learn the skill and not you showing how great of a spotter you are. So saving kids' lives like some of this video is not the way to go. It can injure you and it's not great training. So we want to try to do things that don't show that. So this full in, this kid is not ready for a full end, so we have no reason that we need to spot them for that. These saves are very dangerous because they're not ready and you're really relying on how well you can carry them. And we don't want any of that as the skill for teaching. That kid's Tkachev is not powerful enough. This kid has no business flipping. And this double back is nowhere near ready. We need to do lots more lead ups before we go towards spotting them through these skills. A better way, this is a really long video, so I'll let it play, but is to let the obstacles show what they've done wrong. You're not constantly having to be there to tell them every little thing. You let the obstacle show you, hey, I must reach out on this cartwheel because I can't put my hands close to my foot, or I must block over that triangle. So obstacles are a really good way to make sure you're doing straight cartwheels, blocking your round off hard, making yourself reach straight down a line, although that reached a little crooked. Round off, popping up and down, all different things that help them to do the skill and let them do the drill while you're attending to somebody else. You want to have the obstacle show you've done something wrong instead of the coach always saying, again, you went crooked, you went crooked. So watch this one. You're trying to make sure she blocks super hard off her arms. I don't have to keep saying it because she has to plie and get in more and block harder or her thighs touch that obstacle. So these are the kind of things that you want to stress. These are twisting jumps, so if you don't have these obstacles up, they think where they split was perfectly fine, but you want to make sure that you have something that shows, ooh, I went a little bit crooked. So a little more using the arms, staying in the middle of that would be really good. Split jumps, straddle jumps, wolves in the correct spot. These are Velcros that you're trying to kick, so you push a little bit harder. Nice splitting. This used to be a compulsory leap pass, so we did this in the old days. Hop and just try to get the foot all the way up. Kick the Velcro with the straddle, so it's big. Makes them work way harder than if it's just try to straddle as big as you can. This is just a place where she could correct herself and keep trying to do a handstand that balances. So really good. Wants her rib cage in a little more, but at least you can practice that. How do you do a front walkover and keep your arms by your ears so you don't tap that goalpost on the way up? Same thing with that front handspring. Hurdle big, reach out, block. Strong jumps, strong round-ups. These are more advanced, but still the idea is obstacles, 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 obstacles. So what we'd like to see is a bridge held with your feet up really high for 5 seconds. Hold the leg you want to kick up for over 5 seconds. They're strong at both of those. Then start the kick over process. So she shows the hold, but she doesn't really show the leg up hold. And then you want to kick over with the mats high and then take it down to lower mats. And little by little, you're reducing the amount of mat height so that eventually they're just kicking over on the floor. And it just gets easier and you're not lifting over and over. So on this video, they're going to do 3 cheeses on top of each other so they can almost crash on their back and not get hurt. So that's the best way. They can practice by themselves, but you're trying to push her hips. So watch her hips and make sure they go in front of her knees.
And push. Okay. Touch and push. Okay. Come forward and push forward. Push. Push. Oh. Go back. Push and push to come up. Whoa. Woo. And touch and rock.
And then we lower to
and
2
push.
cheeses.
Excellent. And rock and
to
push
1
them
cheese.
hips forward.
And they can get it on the floor, and it's all by themselves. So this is a pullover video. If you notice if the bar is too high,
also, if the bar is too low, see it's all the way at her belly, it's really hard to get over the bar too. You need a lot of strength. So if you're not strong enough, you try to kick over and make your pullover. And it's hard. If the bar is right at your chin height, see if she pulls into the bar, you could see her chin is right at her chin height. And then she can jump hard and kick over. She doesn't even have to be strong to make it. She can make it throwing her head back and straightening her arms. Right. One of the first places you do a pullover is walking up the wall, so they can start working on that chin hold and use the wall to help them. So they walk their feet up the wall, and the closer it is, the easier it is, and pull over. And watch for their feet staying down. One more of those. Feet staying down as you get over so that they don't pick their head up and fall. Excellent. Good. There you go. And then rotate your wrist. No, look up, down. Look up, look up, look up, look up, look up. Say kick, now kick up. Your arm, now look up, look up.
I literally caught you by your ankle.
Next step you would do is to start with these steps by the wall. So the easiest way then is stepping to the top. So watch her step to the top, and then righter, you can go next. All the way up to the top. The higher your feet are on the wall. Oh, you went from the second step. Okay, perfect. And then do you want to show the bottom step? Right, and then you would just go from the floor. So you inch it down, and the lower your feet are, the harder the pullover is. The next thing, they're going to get to a front support, forward roll down, and try to chin hold.
If they're really strong,
go ahead.
You want to give them
forward roll down, chin
really
hold, and then they can see if they can pull over. That's a mega challenge. That's when they're really, really good at a pullover. Yay!
Here are some things to be really careful on sitting up. There's some old time crashes that we have where they're lifting up before their feet get down and they land really not good. So we want to make sure we stop those as kids are coming over. You hold their legs down, or you make sure you put a cheese there so they hold their leg down, because that's traumatizing. This one's better because they're landing on a softer high cheese, but you still would like to put your feet on something. So here's my video of that.
So if you're trying to get them to step and pull over there, you have something that their feet can grab onto. As if they do it wrong, it won't matter. So they pull over, and they can't get up, and they start arching. If they let go even, their feet are stopping them, and they won't be able to crash onto their neck. But if you also tell them to wiggle down to your belly, get it to your belly button, and look at your toes, come up, you'll never make the mistake anyway. But this, something behind there, like it could be a square block, but anything that their feet can get on will help them from letting go and landing forward on their neck.
Here is a back hip circle start. So you have them sit, it has to be the right height octagon and the right height bar, and then they're able to pull back and get the second part of the back hip circle over without you lifting them over and over.
Okay, she's trying to get her back hip circle, so drill for straight arms and roll it out of the way. She finishes the back hip circle.
This one is Bella demonstrating the use of the back hip circle device, and it helps them work on going around without lifting them.
Here's Isabella using the back hip circle machine. So she climbs her knees all the way up and gets up on her thighs, and then she tries a mini cast, but it can't really cast big, so it just helps them learn to go around the bar, and then she can climb out of it.
This is an obstacle also, trying to make sure she tries to stay straight. Body doesn't let the noodle touch the Yeah, very good. So I like to use tramp pads or something that they have to try to stay on that's narrow and goes straight, because the hardest habit to break is a crooked round off. So we want to make sure we have them reach on the line, do their cartwheels, try to stay on it, don't step off the side, reach out straight and land. Very good. Negative space can be great. I use these all the time, sometimes with yoga mats, but trying to reach a round off in between two objects, so we're not doing it around the side round off. Such a hard habit to break. Reach 1, 2 down a line So here's some cartwheels trying to land in between and not on the mats at all. Nice and straight. Excellent. I like to work round off jump backs a lot, sometimes to flat back, and sometimes to feet, and sometimes to butt back. So all three of those, this only shows the flat back, but watch where the pad is, because that's the main thing, reaching out nice and long and having an obstacle to reach down. So the red pad, here's the flat back, and watch how she reaches on the red pad, out. Excellent. Back handsprings is a skill that every kid wants to learn, and over an octagon, you can do that at pretty low level. So the most important thing is that your octagon is the right height. If it's too low, they can jump over and land on their head, or they just lay back and they're not working their jump. Or if it's too high, they'll be frustrated, but you could still work it safely. So definitely watch out for too low of an octagon. The vertical jump can be worked at all lower levels. So if you can start working on this when they're younger, it can help their back hamstrings. You're trying to swing the arms and jump up with straight legs if you can, as high as you can jump, and this works their back hamstring.
Go onto a squishy porta pad, it's a little easier than onto that firm surface. And then this is a really hard one, very high, so you can get up at all. Oh, right, and as that back handspring jump improves, it just makes their back handspring a whole lot easier.
So here are two videos. One is with it too low, one with a good height. She should keep her legs tighter together on the good height one, but the too low one is just really laying back on it. You barely have to jump. So you want to make sure you put it on a mat and make it high enough for them to have to work their jump. So this is a tumbling one kid working on their jump for the back handspring. It's a challenge for her, but
try one more time.
Side station that you can work with.
Swing those arms, swing them.
And work their jump for the back handspring.
Try one more time. Swing those arms, swing them. Arms up, swing, jump. Yay!
So here are more drills that even lower levels can work on for the back handspring. So you swing and you try to jump as far back as you can.
Low surface, so she tries to jump back as far as she can and land flat on her back. Now, when they get better at it, we're trying to clear their foot so it's further back. So she'll try it again and see if her feet can miss the edge of the mat and come all the way on it. Push. So that was a stronger jump because her feet went in a lot more. Good job! When they do jumps up to a higher mat, it's impossible to clear your feet off the edge, but you try to encourage them to get as far and as big as they can, working on the arm swing and the throw together. So she got all the way to her knees, which is really good for this high of a mat, and so that's all you stress, is trying to improve that and make it bigger and bigger.
This is a great example of the right size octagon because it's just a little bit hard for her, but then she eventually can.
Almost. Try again. That's okay. Try again. Jump. Yes! Woo!
That was excellent. And one last time, I just want to stress that you don't want to have too low of an octagon. It's not helpful and can be dangerous. So just make sure of that. The first time they do a back handspring, you want it really soft and a little bit helpful on the jump. So I like the porta pit down into the pit is a good first place. And so is on a trampoline with an incline. So here's a helpful place to try it if you don't have a strong jump.
So it helps the jump. So they have to get their jump stronger, but this is to at least allow them to work the second part of it safely and not land on their head. So if their jump is weak, that helps them get over and not land on their head. But still work the jump drills at the exact same time so they can get that strength and make it over safely.
So here are just some more examples of places to work it. This is on the end of the fast track with an incline. And then this one is just on the porta pit, has a little bit of bounce, and it makes it easier for them to do their first back handspring more safely.